Okay, finally, this is the new Fold 7. And we all know that this is thin. When it folds, it feels like a normal phone. You know it, I know it. We didn't do this video for this particular reason. The main reason is Samsung just raised the bar with this, and I was reading reports. Apple's foldable launch is delayed to 2026 along with the iPhone 18. Like, this is the 7th generation of Fold for Samsung. There will be an 8th generation until you get the iPhone Fold. And hold on. Most importantly, globally, Apple numbers are slowing down. Samsung has become the top selling smartphone brand globally. So let me ask you guys, if money is not a problem, what would you choose? This or this? And mind you, both of them are India's best flagship smartphone. Still, there's a gap of about 8 years. Why? Well, to understand that, let's understand this Galaxy Z Fold 7. By the way, we try to make different experience-based videos rather than a normal unboxing on the first day. We'll go a layer deeper, talk about the internals, so that even you guys get value or learn something. Like the video for the effort, Pratik, TechWiser. Let's go! Now, before we get to the whole question of the iPhone 16 Pro Max versus the Z Fold 7, see, the Fold 7 and Flip 7 come in this blue shadow color. Now, the Flip 7 video will come later on, so make sure you stay subscribed so you don't miss out on that. Now, the Fold 7 does 4 innovative things with this particular fold. Now, this is the thinnest fold in India, and even going forward, it is going to be the thinnest fold. I'm saying this because I have future information. Like, you really have to hold this phone in your hands to understand the thinness. Like, when unfolded, it's as thin as the USB-C port. It's about 4.2 mm. When folded, it is about 8.9 mm. To give you an idea, it's as thin as a pencil. In fact, the iPhone 16 Pro Max is 8.2 mm. So when the Fold 1 came, it was 17.1 mm. Like, just to give you an idea, this notebook was Fold 1 and this is Fold 7. Like, it's almost half the size of Fold 1. Now, even more interesting part is Samsung had to introduce a titanium layer below the folding glass to make it more durable, which also makes it a bit thicker now. So even after the inner folding glass being thicker, they still somehow managed to make the fold thinner. Now, the crease is almost invisible, unless of course you are looking for it. There's a slight feel on the hands, but the area where the display fold is now increased. Now, imagine this paper to be the folding display. Earlier, it folded like this. And see, you can see the crease. Even you can feel it. And the more you fold it, the crease gets deeper. So year on year, the crease starts getting more visible. But now, this thing folds like this. So unfolded, you can't even see the crease. And no matter how many times I fold the display or unfold it and do it again, the crease year on year will still be less visible. And earlier, if you carried a fold phone, it felt like a folding phone. But now the Fold 7 is lighter at 215 grams and feels like a normal bar phone. Like, this Fold 7 is just slightly heavier than this Apple. But the only difference is if this falls on your head, you'll get Android notification. And this hinge, the frame, everything has advanced armor aluminum to make the overall fold lighter. Now, for comparison, the iPhone 16 Pro Max is 244 grams. And this weight is after using titanium. Mind you, the iPhone 17 Pro Max will ditch titanium. It will be heavier than this as well as thicker. Like, one company is moving forward whereas the other one is moving back. And secondly, the feel of the Fold 7 is changed. Now, what you see here is the bezels are thinner. It feels like a normal phone, but I'll say the psychology is changed. What's happening here is the front display is now 6.5-inch 120Hz. It's a flagship display. It goes from 1 Hz to 120Hz, but the display is now wider. In fact, it's as wide as a normal S25 Plus. So when you type with two hands, it doesn't feel weird. The feel is now closer to a normal phone. It's a 21:9 aspect ratio, which is similar to S25 Ultra's aspect ratio. And what it means is, throughout the year, we have tried foldables with different form factors. But now I feel that form factor will settle down. 90% of the foldables now will come with this form factor. They'll try to be as close to your normal phone. Now, when you unfold it, you get a bigger 8-inch display. It again feels like two S25s stacked together. Now, the front display gets Corning Gorilla Glass Ceramic 2 protection, which is what we saw in S25 Edge. And the back glass gets Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2 protection. Now, the third major change is in camera. Like, first you get a 200 megapixel main camera. It's the same sensor as S25 Ultra, but it's now slimmed down to make it fit inside the slim phone, making it the first foldable to have a 200 megapixel camera. Now it does make the camera bump pop out and there's that wobble, but it is solved when you start using a case. And the photos are on par with the S25 Ultra. You get that sharp HDR vibe, the skin tone is closer to natural, and the 200 megapixels gives you some extra features like intelligent motion detection. So in videos, it can track objects and adjust the exposure. Another change is 12 megapixel ultra wide angle camera now supports autofocus. So the Fold 7 can now take macro photos as well as videos. Rest, there's a 10 megapixel camera with OIS that takes good enough portrait photos. Another thing that Samsung has changed is the selfie camera on the cover screen is 10 megapixel, and also now on the inner display, the under display camera is removed. And you get the same 10 megapixel selfie camera which is on the cover screen. Now it has a wider field of view and it is miles better than the under display camera, but am I the only one who preferred the under display camera? Like, that made the inside display look seamless. Also, the inner display this year does not support S Pen. Since the inner display is 50% thicker than the last time, they wanted to make it more durable. They added that titanium layer. So there's no digitizer on the inner folding display, so it doesn't support S Pen. Now, Samsung has launched the Z Fold 7 with new One UI 8 based on Android 16. Samsung is promising 7 years of OS updates and security updates. So you get those all new One UI 8 features. Like if you connect the Fold 7 to a monitor, it supports DeX mode up to WQHD plus resolution. You can also turn the display 90 degrees if you want a vertical monitor setup. Now the clock font on the lock screen reacts to the wallpaper and auto adjusts itself. If you're using Magic Eraser on a photo, it now automatically detects all the people and erases everyone in one go. But Samsung has also launched some Fold specific features and new Galaxy AI stuff. Like when you're using Gemini Live, you can now ask it to fetch your notes or reminders from Samsung app.
You have 2 reminders. The first is to dance, scheduled for Sunday, July 13th, 2025 at 12 a.m.
It now supports Samsung app. Like it's the first company to do that. Now you can also share your screen with Gemini Live or the camera feed with Gemini Live, and now you get a coach in real time that can teach you new games. In fact, you can do circle to search in games. Like I was playing Genshin Impact long back and I didn't know how to cross this particular level. Now you can just hold circle and it will show you Google results. You can even watch a video in a pop-up, go back and now cross the level. Like beautiful use of a large 8-inch display. Now Samsung has introduced drag and drop between open windows. Most of the AI search results come in a pop-up. Again, it uses the large window of Fold 7 beautifully. So overall, everything is optimized for the larger screen. And then there's Knox security. In case you want, you can use AI strictly on device. Then it won't connect to the internet. On the other hand, this side, there is no clue of Apple intelligence. The entire world is doing AI, whereas the launch event earlier was whole about making the UI transparent, which is also now removed. See, if you cannot make it, it makes sense to collaborate with other brands. Like Samsung's and Google's collaboration has totally changed One UI and Galaxy AI. It is one of the most stable and feature-rich UI out there, not just in Android, overall. Rest, there are the generational upgrades on the Fold 7. You get Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy with 12GB LPDDR5X RAM, 250GB UFS 4.0 storage. We did run some benchmarks in a limited time. On Antutu, this is what you get. Here are some Geekbench scores. I also played a lot of Genshin Impact. The gameplay was good. You get 90 FPS BGMI support and it's fun to play BGMI with 4 fingers on this big screen. Now, out of all the hardware upgrades, the only place that remains the same is battery. Now, due to the reduced size and the thinness, the battery is still the same, 4400 mAh. Now, I've just used the phone for a couple of days. Even on heavy usage of gameplay, I got about 4 hours of screen on time. But again, we would need more time to test this to make comments on the battery life. You get 25-watt charging, which takes about 1 hour 15 minutes to charge the phone 100%. Rest, you get wireless charging as well as reverse wireless charging. You get IP48 water resistance, so it can survive water. Also, you get all the important sensors, NFC, etc. Now, overall, due to the hardware upgrades, the price this year has been bumped to 1.71 lakh. That's a price jump of almost 15,000 rupees from last time. Now, in terms of US pricing, it is an exact dollar to INR conversion, so no complaints there. Now, these are the changes that people were asking on a Fold, and Samsung delivered in style. Like, even if you see in Galaxy AI, Samsung and Google's collaboration is doing pretty well. Most Google AI features or Gemini features launch on Samsung first. Like, you get 6 months of Gemini Pro free if you get a Fold 7. In fact, the Galaxy Watch 8 is the first smartwatch to get Gemini on the watch, whereas the other company is still not able to figure out how to fix Siri. I mean, the comment section is all yours. What year do you think Apple will launch a foldable which is this slim? On that note, this is signing off. See you in the next video. Pew, pew, pew.